Do you think it was a good move to return these palettes as a single packs sets? In today's video we are going to find out about these two little palettes, which are bundles of single eyeshadow that were released as a return of first limited edition Christmas palettes, and we will find out everything about them and talk if it's worth it. Maybe you kind of skipped the first ones that like I did, and if you want the new ones, maybe it's worth it, maybe not. So let's find out. My name is Val, and big thanks to Oden's Eye for sending this my way. Let's start with the first look. So I'm testing a few things in here. It's a new kind of setup. It's a different camera than I used to do. It's a bit different everything, so I'm not quite sure if I like it or not, but the focus should be better with this one. I think I should not fall out of the focus with this. I'm not 100% sure if I like it. It's quite dark as a picture on my monitor, but I also have bright light in here, so that kind of affects the thing. And I am ready to start this video. I did not know if this is going to be a good video or not. I actually didn't really want to start this one, but it's not that bad to begin with, and it's not that bad to have something. Okay, so I don't have the old palettes. I was actually too late to the party and I was not able to grab the old palettes of Merry Christmas and Christmas Eve. If you have them, that's really good for you. I think that's great, but if you don't, let's find out if these new ones as a singles are actually worth it. So let's begin, I guess. Here I'm showing you the palette. This is a Merry Christmas first that we are starting with. I think we will go with the classic Christmas look first, and I also show you the second one that's called the Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve is more of a blue-yellow, and this one is a green-red palette. There are a couple of other shades in here which I don't think are needed, but we have them, so that's what we're dealing with. And I'm also showing you the old ones. I have a bundle of the mattes, the previous mattes, the first bundle that they had on the website, and I'm just showing you the difference in size. The new ones are pretty much the same shape as regular square pans that other brands also have, like Day Day Signature I think has pretty much the same size, and Blend Bunny Cosmetics also has the same size, so you can probably interchange them here and there, so that's not that bad. That's actually pretty good, because before Oden's Eye had a very different ones, and now it's standardized, I would say. And I want to point out that the new palette has approximately the same amount of grams than the old ones, but they are arranging a bit differently. The maximum in the old format was 2 grams. Right now maximum is 1.8. Some are more loosely pressed, some are more packed into the pan, so the grams are different in each shade, and they're not standard at all, so you don't get the same. I will talk about it more later, but for now I think we shall start. I have decided to buy myself one of the liquid eyeshadow Makeup by Mario. I did not find the one that is more lighter, I guess, but I got the Sandstone, and the Sandstone is what I have on my eyelids right now. I used just a Mama Bear Sensitive Unscented Baby Butt Wipes, which I bought in bulk. That's a benefit of having them as a, it's very good for makeup to remove like excess oil from your eyelid before you start something, because when you're applying the skincare, it can get like, you can get it on the lids, and then you apply the base and then something else, and then it's still ruined because the skincare was still on the lids. So I'm just wiping my eyelids dry, I'm letting them sit to dry, and then I'm applying something like a base or a long wear cream eyeshadow, like in this case. Sandstone is almost the same color as my natural eyelids, which is kind of funny, but I don't mind it. I think I may try more with time if I would be using this one. So that's the preamble. Now let's go right into the shades. I will open the palette to actually tell you which shade I'm using, and let's go into them. So the first one is a Matcha Cookies. I applied to the crease and I actually did not like it there. That was a mistake, and I'm sorry that I misled you right from the beginning. But we are going to the New Leaf. New Leaf is gonna be our new base. It's gonna cover up the previous one, and it's gonna be like an outline basically for the further look, and I think that is good. So then I will go into the Christmas tree, the second darkest shade. There is no black anymore in this palette, which is a bummer, I think, but I think they should have replaced one of the golden shimmers with with a black matte shade, actually. Well, that would have been better in my opinion, but that's irrelevant right now. We are dealing with already combined palette. So the darker green Christmas tree is going to be my darkest color as well here. This will allow me to just kind of set things. So far it behaves normally, so like I don't have anything to say about it. The only difference is that usually on my regular base and regular cream eyeshadow, it was not sitting too well, but on this cream eyeshadow it seemed to be totally fine with, and it blends, so that's a good sign. Then I'm gonna take the shade Best Wish, which is a very light, almost neon-y green. It's also quite impactful, so the pigment is there. I think it's looking good. And I'm covering the whole main eyelid with it, and I'm also trying to go into under the brow. I have a bit of a stickiness in there because I was doing my eyebrows with a wax before, but whatever. So yeah, I'm going over with the Best Wish because this will allow me to just have it there. Then I'm going just coming back and forth with the previous blending shades to make sure I have everything somewhat nicely blended. That's gonna be a quite classic red and green look, I would say. It's quite typical and nothing crazy. Then I think I will go into the shade Hot Cocoa. It's supposed to be brownish, but it's actually dark red. More red than brown. I'm gonna make a wing out of it. So the eyeshadow wing, just a slight small wing, relatively small of course, but I'm going all over the eye, kind of the outlining, and just having the not so graphic but still somewhat graphic eyelid and eyeliner. And once it's okay, I will go into the shade Poinsettia or Poinsettia. So this is a bright red. I'm just going over the top to make it stand out more. These are complementary colors. They are against each other on the color wheel, and you can pretty much see that here as well. Then we can be ready for our shimmers. The first one, Elf Wish. Elf Wish I'm digging into. I feel like the amount of product in some of these shimmers actually is quite little, and you will dig into them, you will hit the pan quite quickly. But it's just my subjective feeling. It doesn't mean that I'm right. Elf Wish is the first side of the eye. It's actually multi-chroming, duochroming at least for sure into pink, so that's quite fitting. Then I will go into the shade New Year, is the brightest green. I think it's also changed compared to the previous version of this palette, but it's having a base that is green and it's staining slightly, so it has a base, you have to be aware of that, and it's just slightly giving the greenish look to your eyelids as well. So if it's gonna stain on the empty lid, don't be surprised with that. I'm setting it to the outer edge and kind of by the blending of my dark green as well. I'm leaving just the liner as is, and now I think I will go into something more golden. We have a duochrome named Jingle Bell, or we have something as a snowman. I think snowman can go to the bottom lid, or was it not a snowman? Was it a Santa star? I think it was a snowman that went into the bottom lid. And the Jingle Bell I'm applying first with my finger, then I tried the brush, then I tried the finger again. It's not that impactful. Like, I don't see so much output from it. It's still looking nice, but something is not as expected with the shimmers, and they're all more of sand, you know, the sandy texture rather than something else. I will explore more. In the meantime, I think I need to finish the eyes, get myself a liner and maybe a pair of lashes. I don't know yet, but maybe. And I will come back to you with the finished face. I feel myself a bit weird. This is not the typical setup, this is not the typical thing, but I decided that it's maybe a time to retire my previous camera and use the one camera for everything. I still don't know for sure if I like it or not. Well, I will take time to figure things out. I also don't have a specific range, the distances that will allow me to like be quick with the changes and stuff, but I hope that I will figure it out with time at least. So for now I'm having this. And eyeshadow, the mattes behave normally. The shimmers actually also behave normally. They are totally fine on top of this cream eyeshadow that is self-setting. So self-setting concealer would do, and the other base that is like not staying sticky will do. They were blending fine. They were looking pretty fine to me. The shimmers, though, are nothing, absolutely nothing special. I don't find them more interesting than before, but I cannot compare, obviously, to the actual original palette because I don't have it. But so far, it doesn't bother me that much. I was expecting much worse, to be honest, and the red seemed really nice and the green seemed really nice, at least in mattes. In the shimmers, I'm not impressed. Yeah, you can see a bit of a duochroming there and here. You can see a bit of sparkle, but it's not like, it's nothing special. I don't think it's worth the amount of money you pay for it so far. It's not bad, it's just very expensive. And I also don't know what this pink is doing here. There is no actual occasion in where I would put this pink, so I'm slightly confused. It was, in fact, in previous palette as well, in the original one, but anyway. So far, so good. I'm actually pretty happy with the look, and I'm happy how it's behaving. It was fine in terms of work as well, so that was a bit surprising to me, but maybe I underestimated something. Anyway, this is looking nice. Not super cool, but nice enough. I also wanted to elaborate on the palette size. So this is what my bundle of mattes came in. This is the original mattes that they had, like 2 grams maximum, palette of 12 shades. And now we have a palette of the same size. They are, in fact, the same size. Maybe there is a couple millimeters difference, 1 or maybe something, but I don't think so. And it's just like, it's the same kind of palette, just the design is different, as you can see. This palette now holds 15 shades. So you have a bit more, but you also lose the big boys that they used to have. So these mattes don't really differ much from these mattes, and I think they're just generally pretty similar. The shades are not the same at all, so this bundle is definitely not the same as you get here. The shades are more interesting here. Here they are more pure, so to say. Even the red is not the same. One is more orangey, one is more raspberry, so to say. So you have a difference for sure. This was like 50, I think, for the whole bundle, and I think I bought it even cheaper than that on discount, but it's a lot for a bundle of mattes. This one is crazy in price, in my opinion, for something that is not that special. Again, in my opinion. They all look more, how to say, they are not flaky looking, you know? They are not actually, they don't seem like they're flaking. They are more of this dispersed sand kind of texture. I'm not quite sure. I think the only really bright sparkle that I see here is actually this pink. Others don't really do much, but they can be duochromes. I also did not notice the multichrome in this palette specifically. Maybe it's present somewhere, but I still did not find it. Maybe I will not find it at all, but yeah, that's the current situation. I'm just, honestly, I'm so confused. I was not ready for this video at all, and I was not ready for the changes and everything that comes with it. And but we gotta go. We gotta continue. We gotta do the thing. I also wanted to tell you that I've got a bunch of things that I probably didn't need, but I wanted. So one of them being this Mario eyeshadow. I did not think that it's gonna be good, but it's actually good. Now I think I want others, but not every shade is available in Sephora. Also, he did not actually think about getting something more like white-ish, or yeah, something more like my skin tone. This one is pretty close, but it's not exactly what I would say is my skin tone. Something lighter. I probably want something lighter, but his lighter shade doesn't make too much sense. So I don't know. I will wait, but this one is really good for so far. I don't know how it will behave on the oily lids, but for mine, as just like a base, because Oden's was not really behaving really well on my previous base, and on these eyeshadow, it seemed to be working so fine. So either you need to powder the base, you need something like a self-setting concealer, or you need a really self-setting long wear cream eyeshadow that sets itself, because then you will be able to blend on top of that. And as I see, it's so far so good. I got also Gizu. This is the lip oil kind of. This one is marshmallow. It's such a fun scent, and the taste of it. This one is vanilla glaze actually, and it's marshmallow. I also have a watermelon one. It's more sparkly, but this is like, I have a type, you know. And this one is pretty nice, but I think I like the other one better. The sparkly one I like better so far. I also got my Kaleidos purchase finally. I got 6 of the balms. I don't need 6 of the balms, but filming only one would have been not as nice, I guess. And I still need to film them, but anyway, I got 6. I got the Dungeon Endgame Clean Slate, the brown, red, and peach. Then I got the Geek Out, Stranger, and Cheat Code. Cheat Code is something with the sparkles, Geek Out is purple, and Stranger is gray. Really excited about it. I also got the 6 bullets into which they are supposed to go. So they look like this, and they are very nice pink packaging. So you have explanation what is what, the punk mode, the sugar mode, the nitro mode, and the others. I also got 6 of them obviously because I needed to place my bullets into something. And pencils, of course, pencils. I could not skip this. Pencils, the liners, eyeliners, I love them. They are great. Great quality usually. They stay normal for me for long. Some of them I heard can dry out, but that was not the case for me, so I'm fine with that. I also got only one lip pencil in Java, not quite sure. Even with the programming language, I'm still not sure. I think it's Java, like an island. Island is Java, right? Or am I tripping? This reminds me of the Makeup Forever Endless Cacao. I will test it out, but I think it's fine to have only one. And so far, that is it. What else do I have on my face? The Kevin one, as usual, this did not change. Sephora Contour Stick did not change. Cherry Pick by Shea Glam, quite a red blush. I thought that it's gonna be like, you know, matching in this case because of this Christmas look. On top of that, I applied the Kaleidos. I don't remember the name, but this is the red ones that they have. This is red. Actually, it's not that red. It's more of a brick color, but I think it's nice actually on me, especially on top of that cherry red color from Shea Glam. As highlighter today, I have Fruit Lighter in Sour by Cleona. It's actually like a cool toned duochrome highlighter, and it reminds me a lot on that shade in this palette that we took as well, this one. So it's kind of this cool green color. And on my lips I have the Rudolph set. There is Always Tomorrow. It's a lippy pencil and Lux lipstick. I think it's from like few years ago. I still have it as a set, and they're both in the color Rudolph, and they are very nice reds. So I love lippy pencils. They are so nice. This one is like a bit special, and this is the Lux lipstick. This is a regular lipstick, and I usually don't like these lipsticks because they are not setting. I usually use the ones that are self-setting, so the velvet texture is my favorite, and self-setting. But this is a very comfortable lipstick, and actually there is a way to make it set clearly. What I do is, like, you have a nice lipstick that is in the bullet, right? This is a very pretty color, very festive, very nice red, but obviously it's a smudging one, so you cannot do much with it. It's just how normal lipsticks work. But we have powders to set our makeup. Why won't you use the powder? This is like a very old thing to do, like very old trick basically that's been used for a long time. But what you do is you just take a bit of powder, you bury your lipstick in this powder. It has to be just fine setting powder. Then you remove the excess, dust it off, and you have a set lipstick. And this is how I'm dealing with lipsticks that are normal, but I want them to be more stable. Because this is a very pretty combo. I don't want to waste the combo, but I also don't want it to smudge all over my face. This is the way. If you did not know, maybe, I don't know if you know about that, but this same way as you set your makeup, you can set anything on your face. The eyeliner can be set that way, the lipstick can be set that way, the whole face basically can be set that way. And this is great. So far, that's all I can say, I would say. Huh? Okay. But yeah, that's so far it. And I will see you tomorrow in the new makeup look. So it is me again. I brought you a bit closer so you can see my eyes a bit better. Up close, so to say, and you can see the textures in macro. I actually have a bit more distance available, like half more, so it can be just one eye huge, but I think it will be too much. It will be very uncomfortable to look at, and it will be uncomfortable to keep the eye in the focus. So I decided to like keep myself in this setup more, and we'll try to do something warm today, maybe with a hint of green, but nothing like overpowering. And I will also change the lens later so we can see each other in a normal distance, so to say. So I'm just trying things out, don't mind me. This is an experimental video, just trying things. So I will start with the orange shade, I think it's called something like a gingerbread, all over the lid with a fluffy brush. It's quite pigmented, as you can see, and I had my makeup on, like a bit of concealer, a bit of cream eyeshadow, Mario eyeshadow to be exact, on an empty lid. With a fluffy brush, as you can see, it's also totally fine. It has quite a bunch of pigment and it's not anything problematic. So orange all over, just to have our base. I think orange will be on our main shade this time as well. Then I will go into the shade Hot Cocoa. It's more dark red than anything, so don't be surprised about that. It will be outlining the liner shape that I'm going to create. It will be like a split, a bit of a graphic liner in here, nothing too crazy to be honest, but something. You almost don't see it on orange, but I will go over with the red gel liner most likely, because I cannot just leave it like that. And on top of this liner that I'm creating, I will go with a poinsettia, because that's the only logical thing I can do, because I need it much brighter and I'm not really achieving it with the eyeshadow as is. Actually, if I mix the Duraline with this eyeshadow, I may get that, or maybe if I use the wet option, so to say. So if it's gonna be applied as a liner, then it's still totally gonna be fine, but in this scenario I don't think it will make a big difference or anything. So I'm setting my liner. It's gonna be all over my bottom lid, which I'm blending as well, and it's gonna take a bunch of things on my main lid. And I think into the gap between two liners and into the front, I will add a green shade, the matcha cookies that we skipped first time. It's also more warm, as you can see. It's not as cool teal toned as the others in this palette, so I think it will look better with these shades, and it's also basically combining all the other colors that I did not touch before. So that's the idea, at least. And once I'm happy more or less with the blending and positioning of things, we can go into our shimmers. The first one will be the orange shade. I think it's a duochrome, but it actually can be a multichrome as well. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might be. And then I think I'm going to take a light pink that goes into yellow. It's actually a multichrome, and on the finger it's a multi-chroming, and I think I will add it under the brow. It's called Little Star. As you can see, it goes into orange, pink and yellow, so that's a good option. That's nice actually. And yeah, this is going to be just a centerpiece, and under the brows I'm actually also going to cover the green with it so that I can have it there. And the main lid, and we are left with one shade that is called Bless. It's a pink with blue sparkles, which I have no idea what it does in this palette, because I think it fits better into the other palette with the blues, but we have it here and we're gonna use it on the bottom lid just because it doesn't fit anywhere else in this look specifically. So that's that's what we get. That's what we are working with. I need to clean up slightly. I need to outline this in brighter red, so it's more graphic, it's more present. But I think we are more or less okay for now, and that will be the look. And then we will see each other from a normal distance, as I said. I will come back to you in a moment. The horizon is off in this video and my camera says it starts to overheat, so I don't have that much time and I will try to be quick. So the makeup turned out really good. I think I like it. It's not too much of a contrast because red and orange are very close to each other, but it still looks nice. You can see the duochroming properties on the eyes, on both eyes actually, if you look onto this makeup, and on macro it actually looks okay as well. So I don't mind that. I don't find anything weird, but it's also nothing spectacular, nothing out of this world. So this little thing is quite a normal working palette. So it works. It has some downsides with the brightness or like a multi-chroming things, because you cannot see them in the pan as well. So you can see something, but not everything that is supposed to be happening there. So I did find a multi-chrome in there, but it's not obvious. You cannot see it right away. This is something that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I don't have any creasing or anything, but to be fair, my makeup is from like, I was wearing it for pretty much the whole day. I wiped my eyelids with a baby wipe and then applied this Makeup by Mario long wear cream eyeshadow. I like the texture. It's like a velvety soft. It's not liquid. I don't like liquid eyeshadow. I like the cream eyeshadow. So you just wipe it slightly, like you can work with your finger without problems, and then it wears okay. Maybe if you have oily eyelids, it will give you some problems, but to me it was great actually. And on top of that, the Oden's eye seemed to work as well. So I think anything pretty much can work on top of that eyeshadow, because of it's just self-setting and it's not budging and it's not doing anything. It's like a good base for your makeup, for your eye makeup specifically. So I do like how it looks. I do like how it like turned out in general. I don't understand some of the color combos, let's say. So the pink one is still unclear to me why it is here, what's happening with it. But nevertheless, it's sparkling. Yes, not crazily sparkling, but still sparkling. And overall, it's just okay. However, I think for the price, it's actually a bummer. The price for these singles as a bundle is just ridiculous, in my opinion. Because this is not supposed to cost more than a palette itself. Yeah, it's individual shadows. Yes, it's like you cannot price it at the palette of Bella Botteba $75. 75 euros. You cannot price it the same, because in Bella you have every shade as a special super sparkly or super multi-chroming right in your eyes shades, and these are subtle. These are more, yeah, on one hand it's one more wearable, but come on. Yeah, it's also 15 shades, but 15 shades in Bella cost less than this palette. I am shocked, to say the least. But I'm not hating on these singles because they seem to work fine. That's something, honestly. From the previous palette where I couldn't do anything to now, I still need to try it on the regular base that I have, or on concealer. I will try the regular base tomorrow, most likely, already with the blue palette, but I don't think the formula is different from this one to that one. So if I will hate the mattes on my regular base, then you know that they just don't work for me on that base, and they work on cream eyeshadow. That's so far everything that I can take as an example from this whole situation. But it's good to know. It's good to know. Getting to the point of why things happen, I think, is really important. Knowing what exactly is happening. Okay. So far, I don't think I have anything else to say about this. Generally, I'm totally fine with everything. And what else do I have on my face? I have Kevin Kwan, both as a foundation, as an essential skin enhancer. I do have the NARS in vanilla, the Sephora contour stick as usual. Kaleidos, I don't know which shade it is because it doesn't say and I already forgot. If you don't keep the box, then you are left with nothing. I want to print the name and place somewhere. So I have a sticker printer so I can print the name, but it needs to be there. Come on, like orange blush. It's not too orange on me. I think it's pretty nice peachy tone. I used it just because it matches the orange on my main lid. So justified for me. On opposite, I used the greenish matcha kind of color as 7 C's by Kaleidos as well. So it's in my waterline on the bottom. Sits there nicely. I think it gives a bit of a contrast of a green to everything and kind of grabs the green from the inside and from here, even though it looks a bit more yellowish right now, which I think matches as well. It was a green color when we applied it, so that's about it. Then I have Head in the Clouds by Ofra Mini Mix Face Palette. And I have the shade Daydream on me today. This is Daydream, something orangey as well. I think it's a nice, smooth kind of highlighter. I kind of like this palette as well in general. It has a darker orange shade and these two are really nice. I think it's a fun little palette in general. I will continue using it. That's why I took it out of my drawers, storage, whatever, and put here onto the table so I can actually reach out to it. On my lips today I have MAC Oak as a lip liner. Just a bit of a caramel kind of liner. And the Quality, I think it's called Quality by MAC in lip gloss. I like these glosses because they are non-sticky, they feel nice, they kind of like wrap your lips in the products and they very slowly dry, you know, they are not getting absorbed really quickly, because I noticed that's the thing that's happening with the Gizu, for example. It gets absorbed really quickly by my lips and just nothing left. These ones don't do the same stuff, so I kind of like it a bit more, I guess. And I like brown shades. I got myself 3 of them actually, and 2 of them are brown. One is a Twinkle Taupe from the new collection. I think like it's a holiday collection or something like that. And this one is sparkling brown, sparkling caramel color. This one is a regular brown or regular caramel color, and this one is purple. This one is called Sublime purple shade. I also like purple shades sometimes. Not every time, but sometimes. That's about it for now, I think. Oh, I also got the Girl Cult not long ago. It was sold on TikTok shop for €5 and I was like, oh, Girl Cult for €5? Yeah, give it to me. And it came today and it's actually very nice blush. Very natural kind of blush color on me. So it's a reddish something. I do enjoy it, especially for €5. If you have a chance, you can grab it. I also want a couple others, but they are a bit more expensive. And I'm out for this year, pretty much. For pretty much the whole year, I'm out. Yeah, that was about it. I will continue tomorrow. I want to know how people actually do more makeup looks in a day, because my eyes are just not standing it. I want to try with the makeup remover, like a 2-phase makeup remover, to get rid of the eye makeup, to just, you know, slightly wipe the face and then apply again. I'm not sure if that will work, but if it will work, I will be really happy, because I will be able to do a bit more. And that shortens the production time for the videos, because I also like... Today is Tuesday. I only have the second look on me. I have 2 more to go. So maybe I will do one with you and one outside the camera, so that I can have like a decent time and have a Friday just like, you know, doing nothing, because I need sometimes to do nothing after work. Even though we're already on vacation, I will come back to work on 5th January, but it's needed, you know, it's needed. You get the idea of why it may be. Anyway, happy so far. I think it will continue to be like that, and I will see you then tomorrow in the new look. So I'm here now, I'm testing out the thing with my camera. It's basically a follow focus and it tries to follow my face from place to place. Kind of having an operator without having an operator. The technologia. Anyway, I want to show you today the blue palette. Blue palette is Christmas Eve. And this is gonna be like, I expected this palette to be more on the blue side, but in fact we only have 2 blue shades plus a shimmer that is blue. Others are more like, you still have green in here for some reason, even though you can mix a green. You have a bit of yellow, a bit of beige. So I will try to get my hands on as many shades as possible, and I will start with the yellow. I don't know the names right now. I will just call them yellow or something else. And hopefully I will be able to understand and input the proper shade when I'm editing this through. So yellow will be in the corner, and like a bit of hint to the bottom line. I want to make my line, the lash line basically here, yellow as well. I will stretch it into the wing later, and we are doing halo. So first I will go into the beige-ish color. So it's like a pink gray beige. I'm not sure if I'm describing it correctly, but that's the idea. And I am setting it into the inner and outer edge of my eye, not touching the yellow. So yellow is completely separate. You can leave it there and don't touch it anymore. Once the beige is there, we can go to the light blue. Light blue will be like, yeah, the first color that is actually quite colorful. And I have a painterly base with Urban Decay, and on this base they don't want to actually do anything together, so they are not able to blend nicely. So for graphic it's totally fine, but we've noticed that it blends much better on something that is completely dry, and if it has any small stickiness, it's not gonna blend well. Once the blue is set onto the same areas and I blended it slightly, I will go into the dark teal, dark blue color, the last one in this palette, and I'm just outlining things with it a bit. So I'm just giving like a small V shape here and there, and I'm yeah, just having it for the darkening. This one will need to be blended out with the blue, which I'm exactly going to do. Also onto the bottom lid, the same procedure as every year. And then I think I will need gray. The light gray here is very nice. It's quite an impactful one. It has quite a bunch of pigment. Actually, all the shades seem pretty pigmented. They just don't want to blend on specific bases. And this is what you need to be aware of, because some people use the same bases without trying to understand what exactly is the problem with eyeshadow for them. And if that is the case, you know that it might be the base and not the actual eyeshadow. So in this scenario, Oden's eye worked totally normally on Mario base, but doesn't want to work on my regular one with Painterly and Urban Decay. That actually is able to prevent things from happening. So you need to powder the lid most likely in order for these shades to work. Even though that was not the case before, like this is kind of a pigment behavior. The gray is in place. I've also dragged it to the under eye and just around it so that it can be nice and blended. Then I will come back to the yellow to intensify it so that I can have it there. And that will be the idea of mattes. So you have a halo eye with a bit of an alien look. I think I actually saw something similar with this palette from Beauty DuckTales. So if you haven't seen, please check her out. She has a very interesting graphic liners and makeup looks in general. Now I think we are ready to go into shimmers. Actually, there are not too many shades that are very interesting, but at the same time quite a few. You have at least a couple multichromes in here, but one is not that obvious. The other one is a bit more obvious. The light blue shade is going to be the main one here. It's shifting orange, pink and yellow green, something like that. So it's quite an impactful multichrome, and on the finger you can see it more clearly, but for the on the eye itself it's not gonna do that much because it's not that curved in my case. That will be the first one. Then I think I will go into the yellow. No, blue. Dark blue first. Dark blue, so we can have a dark blue on the dark blue areas. Wow, what a weird thing to say, to be honest. But yes, that's the idea at least. The dark blue shimmer, that is actually a duochrome, I think, as well. I am setting into the dark blue areas, following the pattern. Then the yellow one onto the yellow. I think it makes sense, so that we will touch more than half a palette in this look. And the only thing that's left is the bottom lid, and I think I will go with the second purplish tone multichrome that looks almost exactly like the lighter one. So I have no idea why they decided to put both of them into the same palette. It doesn't make too much sense to me. But anyway, I'm just applying it to the bottom lid. In this case, that will work nicely here. And very last bits is the holographic. My cat came. The first holographic is going to be into the center and under the brow. I will need to add a liner, the black liner on top most likely, or blue liner on top, and yellow to the bottom through the waterline. And I think that will be, yeah, the makeup will be done. So I will see you in a few moments when I finish everything. So this is the look. I actually like the shades so much with my eye color specifically. I have a very cool toned deep blue eye color, and because of that I don't always wear like warm shades or something. With my natural eyes I prefer to have contact lenses to like balance out to add warmth, for example, instead of being that just intense, deep and cold. And with this shades, I actually really like how it looks with my natural eye color. I like the combinations, I like how the shape turned out. Yes, the problem is in the base. These shades do not really behave well on the base that I'm used to, like Urban Decay, actually Wet n Wild, Photofocus, and Megalast I think also will be pretty much the same in terms of behavior, and it just doesn't work on them, which means it will work only on something that is really self-setting. For example, a Tarte Shape Tape concealer can work. In this scenario, this Makeup by Mario cream eyeshadow, maybe Color Fix, I'm not sure about that, but maybe. So something that doesn't have any stickiness to it, that is like set and done. Maybe you can also set your eye with a powder, so like just like we work with pigments, you may set your eye with a powder and then it will be like fine. But on my regular base it doesn't work, and I made it work still. It was not as bad as some of the shades from the previous palette, but still there is something that is not blending, that is getting stuck, and I don't enjoy the work in this case. So I will have to change the base in order for Oden's eye to work normally, which is a bit weird, I would say, but this is kind of the situation we're in. And if you have seen my previous review, I've been also telling that on the specific base, this eyeshadow do not work as expected. And because of these struggles, because of things that you have to go through to accommodate these shades on your eyelids, it's just, you know. I also have creasing like crazy. This shade is very oily. I'm not sure what exactly the shade formula is, but it's creasing like crazy. It's going into the little lines on my main lid, and not even in the corners here on the main lid, and it's just not working with this. And I have gray matte underneath. So I have a base and I have a gray matte underneath, and I have everything that is supposed to work, but it doesn't. And this just is too oily. This shade is extreme. And I cannot imagine how it will work on the actual oily skin, because I don't have that oily skin. I have like a normal sebum right now. It doesn't get too greasy right away. It gets greasy only after like 4 hours or something like that. And it's too much. I don't really enjoy that. Also, I have a problem with two of them being like this one and this one only differ slightly in the base, but the shift is absolutely the same. This is actually kind of a thing for a lot of Oden's eye singles, when you have a difference in the base, but the shift, the colors of the multichrome or duochrome are the same. So this is exactly this scenario. I see more multichromes in this palette. I also see a lot more flaky textures in this palette. The previous one was more of a sandy one. This one is more flaky. So you have quite a bunch of shades that are flaky instead. So this one, for example, this blue one, deep blue, is actually more sandy. So it's more okay, I would say. And also something is wrong either with magnet or with something else, but they don't sit nicely in this palette specifically. I'm trying to show you that it has some raised pans, and that's because they just don't seem to fit nicely into this palette. Maybe it's just something within magnet, I don't know. But that's the thing. I will do one more makeup with this, and I will give you final thoughts about everything, but you already can get the idea of what I can tell. And You know? I think you know. Okay, I think for the eyeshadow right now, it's pretty much it. What else do I have in my face? I added the Mitchell color case into my waterline. The orange shade is called Sunnyside, and this one is in my waterline, and I actually extended it. When it gets into the blue, it gets the shade of green to itself, so you may need a couple layers to build it up. And then I have the Kevin One Essential Skin Enhancer and the Foundation Balm as well. The Nurse Concealer in Vanilla, that's my exact shade of skin. Then I have Sephora Contour Stick the same way. For the blush today, I have this Kaleidos. I think this one is actually Ecstasy. Previous one was not that. I think it was something else, but this one is Ecstasy. It's very nice peachy pink something, and I do love this shade. I have a cream one in LYS from Isabel from Canada, and this one is a powder form of it. It's just so good. This shade is just so good, one of my favorites. Then I have Solar Sailor by Kaleidos as well. This is a highlighter. I have a bit of a golden highlight in here today. On the lips, I have, first of all, I want to get the MAC lip eraser, but I cannot get it. And it's like just not available here and not available on MAC Cosmetics US. So I got myself a Heart% Dote on Mood All Cover Lip Base. I got two shades. One is vanilla, one is gray something. And they are like a silicone color eraser for your lips. Basically, it's primer with a slightly silicone, like velvety feeling. You just smudge it all over the lips to fill the lips in, so that the lipstick that comes on top of it will be a bit smoother, I guess. That's the thing. And I applied the Chestnut by MAC with Chestnut by MAC. This is a Powder Kiss liquid lipstick. And this one as a liquid lipstick I adore, because this formula is very velvety, it's very nice feeling. It doesn't dry you out that much. Like, you still can feel something, but not too much. So this one is really good, but the bullet formula of this one is not good at all. Nope. So that's so far, I think, it. And today in the mail I got Noiricorn. This is Noiricorn palette with Freya. I'm not sure that I will do the YouTube video for it, but most likely I will do at least like shorts, so I can have it and you can have it and I can tell you something about it. So yeah, that's it so far. I don't really have anything else to say right now. I think I will get rid of this makeup and maybe do another one today still, and I think that will be it for this review. But yeah, tell me what you think about this following focus, because I'm not sure how to deal with it, but I think it's kind of fun. I don't know how to deal with it. And I will see you in the final thoughts really, really soon. And so we are back. And I think I'm ready to discuss the things related to these palettes now. So we have nice format. We have 15 shades in each palette, because they had to reduce it slightly. We have all the same color story that was in the first palettes, which are okay. As you can see, the blue one can be slightly more in the wearable, so to say, direction. This one is a bit more festive, Christmassy, New Year-ish. This one is a bit more wearable. If you remove the blues, like if you cover the blues, you're pretty much left with a lot of mattes that are beige, brown, yellow. Like, this is more wearable. This is more of a nude color makeup to me than, yeah, previous one was quite a blue one. And I used a lot of shades from here as well. We have two formulas the same way. We have a bit more of a sandy formula, and we have a bit more flaky formula. Flaky formula that was changed, I don't know when. It's very oily. It's so oily that it can create a crust. That is the personal problem I have with this shimmers. You can work with that, but if you are using the base that is more holding, like I've been using the Urban Decay plus Painterly as a base, it is more of a holding base. It's more of a such shimmers kind of holding base. But then on that you cannot blend mattes. Everything will turn out okay, like the end result is fine, but the work is not pleasant. On opposite, when I'm using something like cream eyeshadow that is self-setting, like this Makeup by Mario eyeshadow, it's blending fine, but you have more proniness to shimmers creasing. Even right now, it's been like maybe half an hour or something since I did the makeup. It starts to slowly get into the creases, even on, yeah, just completely matte eyeshadow, and it's just very oily. It's what I don't really like about this. And here you have one or another, and it's not working that well, for me at least. I don't know what happened. I think the first palettes, I don't have the first release, but I have the further palettes. They're standing somewhere there, and they were fine in these terms. They were blending normally on pretty much anything, and I'm really used to the base I'm using of this Urban Decay and Painterly, and I didn't want to actually change that, but I had to in order for checking how it works in general. And yes, on self-setting cream eyeshadow that is like turning to powder, pretty much, that behaves normally. So that means you will have to powder your eyelid just like you do with pigments in order for this new formula to work normally. It's a bit more pigment based, I would say. It's a bit more like, there is a nice payoff, but it's not always good to have just the payoff. Sometimes you also need to balance out the wearability, to blendability, to the pigmentation. I'm not chemist, I'm not professional in these terms, and what I can just say is that my regular base doesn't work with them anymore. My new base, which I do like, but I was actually buying this eyeshadow to wear my daily makeup without anything. So like, I did not buy it for the purpose of having it as a base. It's more like an accident that I found out that it works as a base. But I was not buying this for this purpose specifically, and that was not intended to be one. I wanted to just use it for my daily makeup, of just having my veins and discoloration covered, and that's it. But it turned out to be a good one for this eyeshadow, at least. Maybe it will be good for others as well. But yeah, I'm glad that I found a way to work with them, but I still find everything about this quite mediocre. As I said, you have two main formulas. One is more of a flaky texture, one is more of a sandy texture. Same way, just like in palettes, they have, this is like, not much has changed in here in these terms. And they are very oily in the flaky department, like really oily. You can, in fact, take alcohol, 99% alcohol, and just drop a few drops into the pan and then let it dry, or let it dry and press with the paper towel. That will also work. That can change the, like, evaporate and excess oil from this, but I don't know if it's worth making that. Not everybody's gonna do that. Not everybody has time or desire or anything. And so if you skipped the palettes, just like me, if you were not able to grab the first edition of the originals, I'm not sure that this would make sense for you personally to get your hands on, because you also get, you basically not getting for the same price the same quality and the same amount. Palette is like $43, right? These guys over 70 each. So you have 140 as a bundle of two, and one is costing 71 something, one is 76 something or 75 something. It's too much for this quality. They are not giving anything out of this world. For 70 bucks, I would prefer to buy Bella of 15 shades, and I know that the shimmers will be like out of this world. They will be super amazing. Even though they can also crease, they can be oily, but they are more manageable in these terms, and they are really, really amazing. These are average. It's nothing too special, nothing too crazy. They got smaller. The pan got smaller. They had a rectangular pans before. It's not bad. It's just a change. So yeah, they can be nicer in terms of pans. You can exchange them, and maybe if you would really want something, you can buy like a single, because I think the multichromes here are $10.95. For $3 something you get the For $3.90 USD you get the mattes, and for $5.90 USD you get the shimmers. Shimmers are okay if they are sparkling. They're like sparkling normally, but it's nothing, as I said, nothing out of this world. You can get maybe a couple shades that you really wanted to. They are also changed, and I will link the posts which compares them so you can see for yourself how exactly they changed, and they changed a lot. But yeah, for the price of 76 and 71 for the magnetic palettes with the singles, I don't think it's worth it. I don't understand the price point for them in this scenario. I think it's overpriced a lot. It's less amount, it's different quality, it's different shades. You also have less shades. The palette for 43 contains 16 shades. This each is 15, so you lose also one shade. So original palettes were better value. I think they were more interesting in terms of the quality too. I'm confused. They're not bad, but they're nothing extraordinary. Nothing that worth 140 for two palettes, because that's the price of Bella, that's price of Cleona. Something that is like outstanding in terms of shimmers. And I don't see outstandingness in terms of these shimmers at all. It's fun. Maybe for 35 per palette that would make sense, but not for 70. So that's what I think. I'm glad I found a way to work with them. I'm glad I was able to, so I'm really thankful for the brand to actually sending them to me so I can try, I can tell you something about that. I'm just not understanding the pricing for this. So let's have a look on all of the shades that I've created, all of the makeup looks that I've created with these palettes. Maybe you have something, maybe you have something to say, maybe you liked something or didn't like something. So please let me know. I will be really happy to read that. And thank you so much for staying with me till the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I enjoyed creating it. And we will see each other quite soon in a new look and in a new year. So happy new year and bye.